I had my business. The business was sold in 1998 at a decent amount. And I said, the business was in India, by the way. It was a group of companies, 3 companies, and the Germans bought it, and they were very generous to make a good offer. That was, at that time, my family and I decided that we are going to share our good fortune with all the 650 employees. We had 650, that is not a lot of employees. And so we took a big chunk of the money and provided the nice check from a peon to a tea boy to everyone. That was unheard of in India at that time. And I think he was a bit surprised, and maybe that is one reason I'm getting the award. But anyway, I tell you the other story. Since we are in storytelling business, I was told that Siridhar has kahanis, and I thought I'll tell you all the story. I have a good business in Egypt. Still I have it. And it is doing very well. In our business, which is seed business, agricultural, I am an agriculturist. From Punjab, you don't expect other people. You don't expect IT people. Well, see, as a zamindar. Now, coming back to what we do now, we are very profitable. We take, Asif, we take 10% of the minimum of our profits, which are good. Actually, 12%. We share with every employee. We have not a lot of people. We have about 130 people. Since it is very profitable, the employees get equal to 12 months' salary, 13 months' salary as a bonus at the end of the year, profit sharing. Thank you. I think this again is unheard of, that we want to share our good fortune with the people who work with us. We must take care of the people. It is very important to me that we work with the people and try to bring them up. Now, thank you for the award, Frank. Thank you for American Bazaar, and it's a wonderful award. And I certainly, our family, my family, my wife is there, and she's a partner from day one. Now let me continue with my story. As you know by now, I am, like most of you here, I am from India. I was born in a village which is now in Pakistan. Unfortunately, we had no choice, but 1947 there was mass migration, both directions, not one direction, and we came to India in 1947. Now, the story does not finish because our family migrated in 2 stages. Some family came, half the family came earlier and the other half later. And at the age of 13, I got separated from my family, and I ended up in Delhi alone at the age of 13. So, why I have a lot of empathy for the poor people, because for months in a row, the only meal I could get was in the refugee camp. I had no money, I had no relative, I knew nobody. I only know where the refugee camp was, and I know the buses which go free. So to get peace of mind, in the evening, a bus was going free from Leela Grounds, which is very close to railway station, to Birla House, which is where Gandhiji used to preach in the evening. So that is how I developed a tremendous respect. I am a very secular person. I strongly believe in all religions. I strongly believe in the helping the poor. I strongly believe in giving, and because I have gone through those things myself. Now, how did I end up here? There was Siridhar was telling, I'm a product I came in the 50s, late 50s. I came 59. I came to Harvard to go to school. And as a student, at that time somebody mentioned about migration. Yes, it was very tough to get an immigrant visa, but I came as a student. Right after graduation, I got a job, very good. I was first appointed, first 5 years I was scientist, like many people. And we moved on to, in 5 years, I was promoted to the manager of the international operations. And then as Islam mentioned, then in this country, sky is the limit if you have the ability. I was appointed as president of Pioneer Overseas Corporation and executive vice president, corporate vice president. I'm talking of at the age of, I was not even 35, I was running a very large operation which became hundreds of millions of dollars of turnover and very highly profitable. So if I look around, somebody mentioned there were 12 families here. Where I was based, there was no Indian family, no Indian food, no Indian restaurant, never heard of it. I was one of the pioneers. And I enjoyed it because I came in 59 and very got to use the American ways, which are very, very good way. Midwestern ethics you have known. Midwest is known for its hard work and very good honesty, and the people deal with you in a very transparent way. So I learned certain good values by living and working in the Midwest. Anyway, again, to make a long story short, now comes our business in India. In 1988, I decided to go on my own when I started my business, first in India, then Egypt, and some other places. And one business got sold, which was three companies got sold in 1998. At that time, again, we had a dilemma what to do with all that money. We had never seen that kind of money before. And it's good to have money. And all our family got together in Chicago. We had a meeting with children, and my wife is sitting there. Her name is Edha. And we decided that we are going to take bulk of the money, most of the money, and put it put in an endowment. I'm talking, Alex, we are talking 98. This AIFS not born yet. And in fact, I made a trip to New York and met Keshav and met Victor Benzes, and we had the money and we wanted to give the money. To whom to give? We didn't know whom to give. So we established a foundation. At that time, I'm talking now we are looking for money. At that time we had the money to give away. And a small thing, Ekal is sitting here, and I met Shashi 2004. And at that time there was not a lot of money. We did many things. Somebody was talking this about to whom we owe our allegiance, to India, or we owe allegiance to both the countries. India is our country of birth, country of origin. We got our education, free education, subsidized education in India. So we have a tremendous obligation to India. That's why we are here. That's why we are so successful, because we got free education in that country. So I strongly feel that we have an obligation to do the work in the US. We set aside a big chunk of money, which is not a huge money, just a few $1 million. We work on conservation and biodiversity, sir. And that work is very, very successful. It's good work on environment, conservation, and biodiversity. That's my contribution to my country of adoption. Then to India, India has a lot of poor people, and there are many, 70%, which are 700 million or 800 people in the villages. So we said we must contribute. Now we are eating sumptuous food. I am disturbing you by making this, this little, telling you my story. We are eating wonderful food, but in the villages, the people have no food. There is no water even. So the question was, sir, you were talking about water. We did many things. We started in the 2000. We said what to do, how we can help. Mewat is a very backward area in Haryana. Haryana is prosperous relatively, but Mewat is very poor and is a majority Muslim country area. And since we say we have very secular way of thinking, we say, who cares? This is a part of India, but very poor, very close to Delhi, very low indices. You take girls' education, you take the water availability, family size, wherever you look, is a very backward area. So we selected Mewat. The only indication, if we can make a difference in Mewat, we cannot fail anywhere in India, because the people have labeled, sir, you have not been there. The Mewat people have labeled is a development resistant. Every NGO who went there walked away. They said it is beyond our hope. AIF did a good job. They never went near. But we are there because it is a challenge. We said we can make a difference in the life, in the quality of life of rural poor. And so we picked Mewat, and we're fantastic. And we have done very good job. Those of you who go to Delhi or Gurgaon. Then we said, we need a product focus, we need program focus, and we need geographic focus. And Jay mentioned earlier, and two principles, basic principles. Whatever we do must have an impact, and the impact must be measurable. It must be sustainable. And therefore, our principle is, whatever we cannot measure, we will not do it. And that's a good principle, is the impact. It must be sustainable. Then we said, NGOs in India, they have a very bad reputation. There are 3 million NGOs in India. For 400 people, there is an NGO. For 400 people, imagine, sir. And that's the Government of India, Mr. Bishar Saab. It is on the Government of India website. But over 99% of these NGOs are businesses. They siphon away the money from the government. They are set up as a front, as a business. We said, we are not one of the other NGOs. We are going to be different. And we are not going to take money. For first 8 years, those people who wanted to even give us the money, we said we are not going to take any money. First of all, we don't need it. And secondly, that we are not working with other people's money, we are working with our own money. And to show that we are not just here for money, we are here to make a difference. It is coming from our heart. It is not that the government is mandated by the government, but we want to make a difference. So, sir, 8 years we did not take any money from anybody. Our books are very clear. Every year we publish an annual report, and it's all available, communication and diffusion of knowledge. At one time, our hope was we will become a knowledge center to share our knowledge, what we do, because we do a lot of things in the field. But anyway, to make a long story short, we said we will prove to the non-profit sector that we are credible, we are honest, we are transparent, we will under-promise and over-deliver, and you can trust us. And now we have a very good credibility. We are rated very high NGO in the country, and I am very proud of it. We are very good people in the field. We have 40 highly qualified people in our, we call it resource group, and hundreds of people and volunteers in the villages. We work in 3 states, Haryana, Bihar, and Rajasthan. And as Jay mentioned, we moved to Telangana and Andhra Pradesh very recently. Now, coming back to the story, which is getting longer, or no, between my speech and the dinner, I am the only obstacle. I should try to hurry up and try to tell this story as quickly as possible. Sorry? A good story. Okay, I think it's a good story, and it is very well written in a book, which is we might have a couple of books, extra copies. Those who don't have, Jay is sitting here. If you give him your card and you would like to read the story, he'll be happy to send you. And Jay is in charge of the foundation. I am go here, go there, go this. I am not very active now. I have a big title, chairman, whatever that means. But anyway, let's continue the story. Now, now we have the foundation, we started it, and I'll come again towards the end to tell you a little more. Now, let's get to the philanthropy dialogue, which is the main topic, sir. I was the other day, just a few days back, I was looking at the Giving US report. I'm sure many of you who are in the philanthropic world are aware of this report. It is a fantastic report if you dig into it, and you will be surprised. Although Myanmar may be number one philanthropic country in the world, but the largest amount of giving is by the US people. There are 373 billion with B as in boy, 373 or 374 billion people given by the US corporations and the individuals in 2015. That's a lot of money, $1 billion a day. Now, out of this one, which is more interesting, 265 is given by individuals. The individuals like you and me and so on. And that's again a lot of money. And average giving of a US household, sir, is $2,985, which is about $3,000 per household. That's a lot of money. And I started looking at our India people, NRI here. There are 3.5 million NRIs, and yesterday Mr. Ji told me there's another 1.5 or 1.4 million other people who are still waiting for green card or migration. Anyway, let's take 3.5 million people, NRI. Average household income of an NRI is $90,000, which is somebody mentioned that I endorse. On the average, the median income, median income, $90,000, whereas the average household income of the US people, which gave $3,000, only $50,000. So we are relatively very well-off community, 3.5 million people. 27% of these million, this is again a Stanford review report. You can read this very beautiful article. And 27% of 35 million people, 3.5 million people, 27%, have a household income over, this is again a median income, $140,000. I'm talking many people are millionaires and make a lot of money. And many people they make less, but median income is $140,000. That means there is a lot of surplus cash. You can't eat a lot of meals if you have that kind of an income. So it is a wonderful, what can, I say, how, if the Indian people did not give $3,000, those 30%, even if they gave half of it, that is $1.8 billion, sir, which could be available. Collective philanthropy you are talking, that is what we need. There could be a lot of money which could be given to or supported to the good NGOs. I'm not saying every NGO stay away from those 3 million, but you focus on 100 NGOs in India who are doing good work. There's a lot of money. Then it comes a challenge. Why India is from day one I was born, we are a poor country, we are an underdeveloped country. There is no reason for India to remain a poor and developing country. We are all labeled, we come from a poor country. I think we can change the face of the country if that kind of money becomes available. You know, just think about it, and think about it, take this message home, that all of us have an obligation to the country of our birth, where we got it, education. And we must do something for our country of origin, and also we should do something here. Now, sir, is the time over? Okay, just 5 more minutes. No.
Take your time and wrap up.
Okay, I will wrap it up very quickly. Now, coming back to our this is about philanthropy, that people like us have done our part, and all of you in this room are doing the part. I know several people who feel very, very anxious to help the country, and I am one of them, and I'm no special. But I strongly believe in that philosophy that we must do something for our country of birth, and also country where we got subsidized education. And that is my message, main message. Now, coming back to our foundation once more, and that is a wrap up. And it was mentioned to, as I said, we started out with a lot of things. And at the end, we said we will focus. What are 3 most important problems in the country? India is a lot of it is a plateau. There is no water. In fact, somebody, I think, mentioned that 400 million people will have no drinking water. Even when 2 years back, even Maharashtra had no water, and the people were moving to neighboring states. I go to India very often, and when you drive from Delhi towards Jaipur, and you see masses of lot of animals being driven from Rajasthan to Haryana, because there were nothing to eat and nothing to drink. So they were coming in big herds because there were no drinking water. Why you stop it and talk to the people, there's no drinking water. So water is a very special problem. So 3 things we work, which is very dear to us. Water security. India is a water-stressed nation. Per capita availability water is going since 1950 continuously. Many of you come from villages. In the villages where I came from, we had these baulis, we had those wells, and we had those, the village well. Even in schools they taught you village well, where the women gather. And now the wells are getting dry, and the chuppards are those tanks where the cattle. They have come under brick and mortar. Somebody mentioned in Andhra Pradesh they have to start boring the well, and they have to go on so many 100 feet down. In Punjab, I come from Punjab, we used to have 5 horsepower motor at one time to lift the water. Now, sir, 15 horsepower motor will not lift your water. The water has gone down, way down. It's a big, big problem. So water is a big issue. I could talk on water probably half the day, but I think I need to stop here, move to food security. Please keep it in mind, India has 1.3 billion people. 1.3. It is going to be 1.7 billion by 2040. Even right now, we are the greatest number of malnourished children in the world. We have the greatest number of anemic women in the world. And Mishra Saab is sitting there, please correct me. This is these statistics, World Bank statistics. We have a big problem to access to food. Food may be there, but the people don't have them. And access to food is very important. So this is again another topic. Food security is very critical for India. Then Salam Saab mentioned about good rural sustainability, good rural governance. Like water, we are a water deficit nation. We have food problem. Thank God to Green Revolution is taken care of. It is a, and then is the most critical, biggest deficit is good governance. We have a governance deficit at every level. At the highest level, things may be improving. Then you have when you come to we said there are three kinds of corruption. you have a thank you corruption, which is small corruption. Then you have what you call is a speeding the file. You know, they're called speedy money. But coming back to good rural governance is very important. And from where is who is going to train Sarpanch and Panchayat, making them aware of their rights. Also, empower the citizens, they can participate in the governance, in the democracy. India is a democracy. We strongly believe that there should be citizen participation. So I think we focus on three programs. Good governance is very dear to my heart, all of us, because we need good governance. And a couple of things to work with the government is the biggest delivery system in the country, whatever you do. No NGO can substitute the government. So our biggest two principles in the beginning, we will not do what in the beginning we said, we must work with the government and not parallel to not in the different setup of their own shop or the parallel. So we said our goal is to make our schools teach and our clinics treat and be a catalyst to the bureaucracy so that they are responsible to the needs of the people. So the governor, training of Panchayat, which is a big program, and women empowerment is a big program in our foundation. And how to empower the young adolescent girls, which are the age of 12 and 15. So, to summarize, sir, the water, the food, and the governance. There are many other things, but these are three very, very critical issues. And our foundation started tackling them from the very beginning. Now we are in India as a trust. In America, we are still a family foundation. In America, our programs were very clear: conservation, diversity, environment. And in India is a different program, which I outlined. So, sorry, I am holding your dinner, and I enjoyed telling my story.
Thank you.